Welcome to MG Life Hacks. This is a channel for Myasthenia Gravis patients that are just looking for some tips or different ways to do things. And for today, I wanted to go over medication. It stands to reason when you have an immune system issue, you might have some other ones just on the side that also require the use of medication. Sometimes with mine particularly, I have an infusion right now treatment that I do, as well as some other prescriptions for other illnesses that I have, as well as myasthenia gravis. I figure I'm not alone in that boat. I'm assuming I'm not. So I wanted to share some tips and tricks because I don't know about anybody else, but myasthenia gravis causes major brain fog sometimes, because when the fatigue ramps up and the insomnia starts kicking in and acting up again, it can make it really hard to remember what you need to take and when you need to take it, and it's challenging. So anything to make anything at all easier always helps, especially so you don't underdose or overdose on something. So what I do is I rely on an app to remind me when to take my medication as one safeguard. I do a couple. It's called Round, R-O-U-N-D. It's a circle. And you tell it when you want to be reminded to take your medication. And it will send up, a flag or a banner, depending on how you instruct the app to interact with your phone. I find this is the easiest because there are times where I have sworn that I have taken my medication and I have not. When you take your medication, you simply click on it to make the prompt go away, and it will show you the time that you've taken your medication if someone asks you. This is a good feature to have if you are like myself and you just kind of find yourself in the hospital because you're having trouble breathing again, and they ask you when's the last time you took X medication. You can just look on your phone, look it up, and it's right there. The other thing that I have, you want to keep all of your medication in one space. I know they say don't keep all your eggs in one basket, but in this case, you want them all in one spot. You want to make that one location your central location for taking your meds. You don't want them split out on different levels of your house, just because of the sheer difficulty that it can be to get from one place to another. And if you've lost track of the one bottle of medication that you have and it's on another floor, now you have to go to the other floor, and it can be a really big challenge with myasthenia gravis, just because of the muscle weakness involved. For anybody that just kind of stumbled on this, myasthenia gravis is a neuromuscular illness that impacts my ability to use my voluntary and involuntary muscles. So I have to do as much as I can to conserve my energy and build it incrementally. So my connection between my muscles and my central nervous system is kind of cached. I can do tasks, but I can only do a certain amount. Everything takes a lot of energy. So things that are common tasks for you are very difficult, sometimes impossible for me. But getting back to medication and organizing things, when you're taking your medication in the one spot in your house, what may help is a couple different ways to do it. You can have a little teeny tiny bowl, and as you check off the medications that you're taking, okay, I'm taking this for this, taking this for this, and you're putting the pills in the little tiny bowl. You could do it that way, and then simply take the bowl and then take all of your pills once you are finished putting all of your doses in the bowl. And then once you take your medication, click on the app. Yes, I took my medication. Fabulous. Since life can be insane and you may have people leaving for the morning or school or work, and Mom, have you seen this? And have you seen my keys? Have you seen my wallet? Where's my this? Where's my that? things that interrupt you while you're taking your medication are bound to happen. So what's helped me a lot is just creating a routine around it that will allow for those life interruptions. It's going to happen. But the routine is so built into me. I've done it, the same way for so long, almost 2 years now. You get used to it. So once you get the box of pills out or bottles, get those out as I'm putting each dose in. I'm not putting the pill bottle back into my box just yet until I have finished doing everything, including taking the medication. Once I take my medication, it all goes away. So I can tell if I'm interrupted, mid-dosing. So I can see, there's still pills left in my bowl for me to take. I haven't finished taking those. So that way, if you're the type to clean the kitchen as you cook, so to speak, if you're doing the same thing with your medication, you might start to wonder, well, did I take it? No, I'm not sure. Oh my gosh, is this an extra thing left over? Which is really easy to do if you're really tired. So once you have a routine down, stick to it. Do it the same way every single time. It might help you out a lot. The other thing that I have is I actually have an iWatch for a couple different reasons. But what's really handy about that is that if my phone is not attached to my body or just around, I will still get a reminder. It'll tap me on my wrist, and then the app will pop up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta take my medication. So even if I'm not near my phone or my phone isn't on me, I still get reminded. So that's helped a lot as well. In terms of keeping track of new medications and whether they're working or not, what you can do is keep a calendar, like a 12-month calendar, and then simply write in when you start a new medication. And there are also apps that do this. I prefer the visual. Sorry. I can only do so much tech. But what I like is that calendar, because then I can see the day on that calendar when I started taking that medication. I can see how long I've been taking it. And in terms of a symptom tracker, that is a different app that I use, but I can at least see when I started taking it clearly. And I can also, take it with me if I need to, because I take all my information with me to my specialist appointments when we do our follow-up visits, just to make it a little easier, so I can tell them, yes, this medication is working, and I started taking it on this day, and I started taking this dose on this day. And what can also help with that in terms of the 12-month calendar is if you happen to be weaning off of prednisone. Oh, you're so lucky. When you start weaning off of things, if you notice quirky little weird symptoms or things popping up, like a withdrawal reaction or something like that, or just something just doesn't feel right, you can always go back to that calendar and look and see, well, I did start weaning off of prednisone on this day, and then this started happening, or the doctor told me to bump up on prednisone, and I noticed I had a lot of mood swings a couple days after that. You can tell them what the side effects were. Or you might be able to just put your mind at ease knowing what the change or, symptom might be related to, just to have that correlation, just for your doctor, if not yourself. The other thing that I could recommend is having your list medication in a couple spots. And I know it's a pain and it's kind of redundant, but hear me out. So on the Round app, it has the list of medications that I take and prompts me when I need to take them, and it can tell me when I took them. Fabulous. With Myasthenia Gravis being a little more serious, I do have a medical bracelet just in case, something happens while I'm out and about or I need help. That way my condition is listed and they can try and figure out what they need to do. It's also in my phone for that reason. In my medical ID, I have a list of medications there. So if I, have to go to the hospital because I'm having trouble breathing and communicating, I can go to my phone, click on a few things, and then just show them on my phone, on my medical ID, what medications and doses I'm taking. And it'll also have, my health conditions listed there for them to try and help them and help me communicate to them what's wrong. The other reason this helps is for follow-up doctor visits. When you go in for the next visit, they're going to ask, okay, what's the current list of medications you're taking? Because you're probably seeing a couple different specialists. It's nice to have a nice list just right there that you can just both check off and go down the list. Okay, I'm taking this, I'm taking this, I'm taking this. I stopped taking this on this day. So those are just a couple different things that I do to try and help me keep track of my medication and when I've taken it, so I don't overtake it or undertake it, and I can be more of an advocate for myself in the doctor's office or the hospital, wherever the case may be. So I hope this helps you out. Give it a thumbs up if it does. Otherwise, have a great day.